What's going on, guys? We're back with the Regular Guy Firearms channel. I'm back from Afghanistan, and as you can see, I'm starting things off running. I'm here down at the Force 4 1,000-yard range, and there's actually a few more facilities that we have here. I'm here with John Gardner of Force 4, and why don't you tell them what you do?
Well, we got a Force 4 training is out here in Ocala, Florida. We have a 1,000-yard shooter range, precision rifle. We have a 160-yard carbine, shotgun range, and pistol range. We also have a 100-yard pit. It's 100 foot deep that we do for shotgun, the jungle walks, things like that. It's a nice environment. We have a shoot house on top. We shoot under covered area all day long. Rubber mats on the floor. It's a very nice place out here to shoot.
See, and the thing is that I tell you guys a lot in the reviews about like carbines that can reach out to 600, 800 plus, and bolt rifles like 308 that can reach out to 1,000 with no problem. This is the expert that I defer to for my knowledge on anything that regards long-range shooting, following trace, any of that stuff. He also teaches a lot of confidence stuff with pistol, like for instance on a 25-meter plate rack, we're hitting shotgun shells and stuff. So we're going to get ready to go for a tour here, and we're going to show you different things about the range, especially the steel that's down here, and it's going to be a good deal. This is the overhang that we were actually just shooting on. There's a lot of different mats and stuff like that. If you want to come forward with the camera, we can actually see. As you can see, we have a lot of different spotter scopes set up. That's by the Force 4 guys. Rubber matting so that you're not shooting on concrete. A lot of static ranges have you shoot on concrete. And it's pretty squared away because you can see where you can identify and pick up your brass and everything else for the dudes that reload. For you aerial platform guys, you can see I'm on a swinging platform. A lot of guys that come out and go to aerial platform shooting and stuff like that go straight from the ground to an aircraft. This is actually a really nice setup because you can set up your bungee cords here or whatever. You can shoot from the plank, or you can prone out and do what you got to do. You're still reaching out to well over what most people would consider effective ranges with aerial platform shooting, and this is a great place to start. You can see this is actually the pistol side. You can set up paper back there by the poppers, and obviously you can work this as cover and stuff. The carbine guys set up here too, and they can actually shift further on down the line. Making movement further left, you can also shoot further down the 1,000-yard range, down to 300 and 400 yards plus, depending on where you're at. Especially as you can see, like most ranges that you shoot rifle and pistol classes and stuff like that are usually within pistol distances. You can actually reach out and test your zeros and put your rifles and your body to the test, especially out here in Florida where it just gets hot as shit. So, also, working the shotgun side gets pretty easy too. So it's a multifaceted range that you can work a huge variation of classes on. It's one of the main reasons why I like this place. We made further movement to the left here, and as you can see, you start from the 150 and you can scoot all the way out to 650. And if you pay attention and look up on the berm there, you can see that far black tan in the distance. That's where the 1,000-yard targets hang out. Mostly steel out here, so if you're spotting for it, you can watch the trace into the steel and watch the splash. It's real effective stuff. What obviously looks like Fort Benning or Leonardwood, this is still in Florida, guys. We all know that Florida is pretty flat, but we're looking at hills and stuff like that. Here he's calling this the pit. So why don't you explain what the pit is and how valuable that is to the training experience here and why that sets you apart from everybody else?
The pit is a range that we set down that you move it in on a path. While you move it down the path, you're going to have various targets set up. Some are hidden, some are out in the open. You need to engage those with a shotgun. This particular phase with a 12-gauge shotgun, a 20-gauge, anything you want to use. We also have carbine areas where we're using the perimeter of the pit, engaging down into the pit from different stations. Working stations, moving to the next station, different colored targets, different distances and targets. So we're working this in a 360 phase and when we're going down into the pit.
And from what I understand, also you're getting ready to rig up like a zip line piece of steel where you just shoot it across.
Right. You're going to have moving targets coming at you, coming across you, things like that.
So, and what this reminds me of in a lot of ways is alert, a long-range patrol, where you can can set guys with all their kit and everything else, plus their survival gear and their med kits and everything else. You can roll guys through here, assign dudes that are dead, run force on force, so that dudes actually get shot and you have to sit there and work on them. So, in my mind especially, I mean, wearing kit and all this other stuff for the last 6 years, how this translates to me is that when you're working a government profile mostly, 95% of what we do as far as force on force is with blanks, and it's like, oh, okay, you're dead. Whereas on this particular range, this particular setup, as far as force on force, you can work simunitions and actually get shot. And you and I both know, you start taking that corner a little differently when you know dudes are shooting in that general area.
Right.
You know.
We also do navigating, where you got to navigate from one shooting facility that we have over there, say the rifle range, over to here, set up a plan and go in and engage targets. So it's a navigational type thing, plus engaging targets at different distances, hidden targets, things coming at you, a lot going on.
Which also means working with short wave radios and communications in foliage, which
Right.
always works.
Right.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I mean, as far as just this place and other places that I've been to, as far as just like Tennessee, Colorado, Arizona, and stuff like that, very few places train in a similar way. All right, guys, this is what John calls the mountain, and I'm going to go ahead and have him explain exactly what that means.
Also, in groups up here, each person in the group will have a different colored target. All they're going to do is identify their target, range it, find the position they need to shoot the target, get on their target, and call it out. You get 1 shot per target, so make sure your hits count. All right.
And the way that you can actually have this work too, unless I miss my guess, is that you can have groups of 2 or 4 or however come out here and assign colors to guys. So,
assign colors and targets and
right. So if I'm green,
right.
So if I'm green and you're blue, I can go ahead and call. Okay, I got green at 300. Oh shit! Watch the blue on 400 or whatever you would use. Rabbit trail here. If you see targets that could be set up in different locations, you're not going to have the ability to do prone in all of this. So it's going to stretch your ability to actually find a loophole through the brush and hit that guy. So it helps if you're a hunter, it helps if you're in the tactical world, it helps if you're out doing sport shooting or the speed shooting games and everything else. This is the fucking place. Especially if you're coming out looking for land nav and things like that. Land nav courses and stuff like that are in the works. So if you want to brush up on your compass work, and not everybody that works a long gun understands that land nav is as important as getting where you need to get and taking the shot. So as you can see with all the brush and trees and shit here, this is the place to be.
Oh, lost the cameraman.
Oops. We lost Rick, and I have him on camera. Bend down, bend down.
Get a picture. You got it on film?
Yeah.
What was that?